as Christians, it really hurts my heart that we don't love the same. How can we not love like Jesus? With love being the greatest commandment of all. I have to plead to parents that's out there suffering with high blood pressure that could lead to heart disease, that could lead to strokes, that could lead to heart attacks. We gotta get back to knowing who we are in God enough to read His Word so that we can apply it to our lives and do what it says. Because I sit here today and I don't get for 1 second how you guys do it without Jesus. And I know I'm different when compared to every other human being on this planet. I am different. And that's how God made me. But I will never understand how y'all try to raise kids without them. I just don't. And maybe because I knew ahead of time, like prior to having kids, I didn't want to have kids to subject them to what I knew this world would become. Because even at that time, as a young black girl lost, growing up in the streets, you couldn't tell me the world wasn't going to get worse. Because even in my eyes at that time, back then, over 30 years ago, it was worse then to me. Because I didn't even want to be here. So I'm like, why in the world? For somebody to not love mine like I love me? I mean, like I love them? Does that make sense? To hurt them? Abuse them? I knew. So the only odds an option that I had was to give him to Jesus from birth, from the womb. In the womb, I made the vow to my Father that I would not raise any child that He blessed me with or gave me without Him. And I meant it. But I'm going to tell you something. Whether I did or not, He held me to that. He held me to that. Because shortly after that vow and confession was made, I lost my Grammy, who was my spiritual rock and foundation. And I lost the presence of their father. Sentenced to a life behind bars in a federal prison. Life. When the jury sentenced him and gave him no numbers but letters, that spelled life. And I couldn't for the life of me understand that. It took me to keep living for God to show me some things. Like, I need you to be strong on your own enough to have trust, believe, and depend on nobody but me. Because when those two people were taken from my life, He is all I had. I had nobody else. Even though my mom was still alive, she's limited in what she can do. You know, she is the best support system she could be. You know, but oh gosh, y'all, please, we gotta do better. We gotta do better as a people. We gotta get back to the love, and we can't do that without Jesus, y'all. We can't. We can't. Oh my gosh, I have not heard. I didn't hear nothing about the brother Tyree Nichols until just now. Jesus. Oh, my heart, Lord. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Oh, give us strength. Give me strength. Lord, Lord, Lord. How y'all do it? I'll never understand. I'll never understand. I'm only as strong as I'm able to be now when it comes to my three, because I know they got Jesus, and I made sure they understood that. When I would walk them to school in the mornings, I would tell them every day, Mama loves you, Daddy loves you, Nana loves you, family may love you, but God gonna always love you best. So if I knew that, I had to make sure they had him for them to receive that, because I understood that at any given time, I can no longer be here. And I don't want them to walk around in a world that's full of so much hate without being loved by the one who gonna love them better than me. I just couldn't do it. And I refuse to do it now. That's why when I don't have the answers, Jesus. When it's out of my control, Jesus. When I ain't got the strength, Jesus. When I have a small little speckle of doubt, Jesus. When I can't see what the future brings, Jesus. When I can't be where I feel like I need to be or want to be for the people I love, Jesus. When I don't understand, Jesus. When my faith is weak, Jesus. When my heart is broken, Jesus. When I've been violated and hurt and disappointed, Jesus. When I'm struggling with myself because I don't believe in myself, Jesus. When I was physically abused as a child and a teenager by my own daddy, I didn't understand, Jesus. When I was raped, violated sexually, physically, by men who say they love me, Jesus. Homeless as a single mother, Jesus. Don't know how the bills gonna get paid, Jesus. I can keep going, y'all. The answer gonna be Jesus. And I know my kids probably, especially being that I'm not physically in the same location with them right now, when they call me and things are disarray, something has happened, and I don't know what to do because I'm not in the position to do what I want to do at this time. Jesus, I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray and give it to God. And I was just reminded today by somebody that's not saved, somebody that's not a Christian, somebody whose children don't have Jesus like mine do, to give my 16-year-old Jesus and let it go. Give her to God and let it go. And I was grateful for that because they were absolutely right. Jesus. They got him for that very reason. I gave my children to Jesus because I wanted to do my part so that, because I understood, y'all, that sometimes in life, right, we make it harder for God to have to check our kids and correct our kids and change our kids, and because we don't do our part, you know. So I wanted to at least get the basics, the foundation, you know, so he has something to work with. Like, yeah, they were baptized in the watery grave before they really not had access to sin, but before they encountered sin, right? Pure. And I believe right now that's why their heart's so pure. Because, see, that's the one thing that ain't been tainted but in me. Like, based on all the trials, tribulations, or trauma, I don't dwell on it. I may mention it, but I mention it in a way to show that I overcame that, right? But I don't dwell on that stuff. I understood all those things happen to test not just my faith, but my heart. And that's the one thing that remains pure. I don't care what somebody did to Tiffany. Because Tiffany, at the end of the day, is just a shell. I am a human being that's imperfect like anybody else. I'm just trying to make it to heaven. The difference between me and most people is that's the only option for me. That means if I got to suffer here on earth a lot more than others, so be it. Right? I'm good. I did not let the attacks that have been made on me or against me cause my heart to be bitter or impure. And that's the thing. That's what Satan does. That's what he do. When all these things that happen to us, and instead of us looking past ourselves because we know the persecution and the mockery and the physical torment by being martyred, tortured on the cross that Christ went through, we still living. I know the word says if the world hates you or anybody hates you, I'm paraphrasing, just know that they hated me first, right? So when things happen to me, When the bad things that happened to me and I couldn't understand it, when I know all I do is try to demonstrate love in my everyday walk, in spite of not being perfect, because I smoke weed, because I sold dope, because I made money in the streets, because I dress like a little hoochie mama out here lost, right? My heart still was uncorrupted. It was pure. And I know it was because that's a lot of reason. That may be the reason why a lot of things, like I was around killers and didn't even know it then. I put myself in dangerous situations. I was around niggas who ain't have no heart because they can identify and see the heart in me, which was really the Jesus in me. It kept them from doing certain things to me that they did to other girls. Just like me. Right? My heart stayed pure. I didn't walk around because somebody did something to me. I'm on that get back. That was never in my nature. I ain't never been spiteful or hateful. Because I always knew God, my Father God said, vengeance is mine. I don't know the whole Bible. I never read it right now to this day. But the key is I got enough of it in me to know. And because I know what I know, I'm held to those standards and accountable, right? So I thank God for that because everybody don't get it. That's one of the things that makes me different. I don't seek to be a victim. And that's why when I see other people going through stuff, having went through stuff, I'm Jesus. A lot of times I don't feel no sorry. And if I can help in the situation, I'm going to do that. But the one thing I'm not going to do is feel bad for somebody because I know they got the same option, same opportunities that I had. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Why you still free, Jesus? Why you ain't got AIDS or HIV, Jesus? Why you ain't turned out, doped out in the psychiatric ward, Jesus? Why you ain't out here still living the life that you lived when you was young in the streets? Because you out here trying to live life like you ain't learned from the life that you live. Jesus. And that's the thing about the struggle. That's why you can't be ashamed of it. Because what a lot of people fail to understand is you don't have to be struggling financially. I could show you weapons right now that if it was about us living lives on our terms based on what we wanted and what we felt we deserved, do you really think we'd have to be in this situation? Me and my husband come from two different sides of the streets and had kids and were struggling and homeless. Still did the right thing. Still went to the church for help, only to be rejected by people that's supposed to be your brothers and sisters in the Lord, who would rather send you out back out into the world to get it how you live, not knowing your history. But they'll keep you in that situation though, instead of helping, prevent you from having to go back to that lifestyle that God delivered you from. They'll do that. That's man for you. But see, we was reminded, we always knew our blessings don't come from man. They may come through man, right? But they don't come from man. And that is the difference. So anytime I go out here and I do something out of order against man, I'm doing it to God, because man is God's creation, not mine, not ours. So no, we ain't out here busting people upside the head trying to get wealth or get money or set niggas up or be a part of that street life and the street worlds. We ain't out here robbing people, trying to take nothing. We ain't out here trying to do things that are ungodly, because we know we lived the majority of the early stages of our life going against God. And he the one kept us from the death, from the AIDS, from the rapes, from the subjection to everything evil in this world. We were right in the midst, in the belly of the beast, 24/7, all day, every day. I ain't get out there till 14, but my husband was younger than that, yo. Yet he still kept us. And we here alive today by his grace. Therefore, we choose every day to live it in such a way where he gets the glory. We don't care how man see us on the outside. All that matters is that God knows us from the inside. That's some deep stuff, y'all. Random but real. I love y'all today and always for free, and ain't nothing you can do about it.